Hi, I'm Nick Palmisano, and this is the Bad News Network. President Trump threatened Iran this week in an all-caps Twitter spiel that brought the ire of journalists and Americans everywhere. However, what they failed to recognize is that if you read his message in an oldie-time bad British accent, it sounds totally different. To Iranian President Rouhani, never, ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before. We are no longer a country that will stand for your demented words of violence and death. Be cautious. Never surrender! Sorry, I got a little carried away there. CNN reporter Caitlin Collins was told by the White House today that she is no longer welcome at press events after questioning the president about his relationship with Michael Cohen. The White House stated that the reason for this is because the questions were inappropriate. Even though every major news outlet, including Fox News, immediately came to CNN's aid, the White House held firmly to their position, and I have to say, I have to side with the White House here. If there's one thing this administration is known for, it's good old-fashioned class and decorum.
She's also wicked hot.
Representative Meadows, a Trump ally, has moved to impeach Deputy Attorney General Rosenstein in an apparent attempt to silence the Mueller probe. Meadows' contention is that Rosenstein used opposition research to receive the FISA warrant, which is illegal. Rosenstein countered that the FISA warrant was issued 6 months before he was even in the position. Meadows countered with, "F you, Rosenstein." Wait, is it Stein or Steen? Santa Barbara, a California city that has been plagued by homelessness, crime, opioid use, and low business investment, has finally focused on the one problem they believe will be the game changer for them: plastic straws. Other cities have banned straws before, but in Santa Barbara, each plastic straw can get you up to 6 months in prison. So if you accidentally hand out a 40-pack at a children's birthday party, you could be doing 20 years of hard time. Seems reasonable. Now, it's important to note that straw banners cite that Americans produce enough straws every day to wrap a straw line all the way around the earth and then some. They've also cited a plastic straw being removed from a sea turtle's nose with pliers as proof. Others, however, argue that that straw statistic actually comes from a 9-year-old's phone survey for a class, that even if we dumped all of the straws that we have on an annual basis into the ocean, it would only make up 0.03% of all plastic in the ocean. And that 90-some-odd% of straws do not, in fact, end up in the ocean. That 46% of all the plastic in the ocean comes from commercial fishing nets. That 30-something% of the rest of the plastic comes from other commercial fishing properties. That 60% of all plastic in the ocean comes specifically from China. That 35% more comes from the rest of Asia and Africa, and that the United States, Canada, the rest of the Americas, and Europe together combine for 5% of the plastic pollution in the ocean on an annual basis. And that straws are such a minute amount of that plastic that it almost can't even be measured. When you hear two compelling sides like that, it's very hard for the average American to decide which position to take. Facebook stocks plummeted 20% this week when Facebook announced that they were going to stop illegally stealing everyone's information and start to do it the legal way. Hollywood announced this week that they will be rebooting Enter the Dragon. I think that's great news. Contrary to popular belief, Enter the Dragon wasn't popular because of Bruce Lee, but rather the incredible writing. It's a story about British intelligence hiring an undercover kung fu master to get involved with an illegal kung fu crime syndicate and fight his way all the way to the top through a maze of mirrors and eventually defeat a crime boss kung fu master that only had one hand with interchangeable swords. With writing like that, we really should be asking, Bruce who? Tim Kennedy, Green Beret, UFC fighter, and co-owner of the greatest military apparel brand on earth, kicks off his new show, Hard to Kill, this Tuesday on Discovery Channel at 10 o'clock Eastern Time. In this series, Tim fights a bull barehanded, escapes from an avalanche, crashes a plane, escapes from a sunken helicopter, and what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Turkey's President Erdogan has continued his path towards Turkish Islamofascism by commencing a purge of 130,000 military, police, and academic officials. What a bunch of turkeys. In shocking news, President Trump choked a baby seal to death on Fifth Avenue today, but his poll numbers haven't changed. In news, even in bad news, Trump dominates the news. And with that, I'm Nick Palmisano, and this is the Bad News Network. Our news is at least as bad as the news you're getting already.